So it looks like we finally have information on not only when Yeezy Day is this year, but also what sneakers are dropping. Not only that, but an original pair of Michael Jordan sneakers from the first Space Jam movie just went up for auction and are expected to hit around $200,000. Needless to say, today's video is going to be filled to the brim with crazy sneaker news. What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Fowler, and this is Weekly Heat. Starting things off, we've got official images of the brand new upcoming Nike LeBron 18 Low Stewie Griffin. So I'm sure a lot of you guys remember the Nike LeBron 6 Stewie Griffin player exclusives. And unfortunately, that was a shoe that never made it to market because of course it was a PE. And what's crazy to me is that even though it's one of the most popular Nike LeBron PEs of all time, it didn't make it really very far at all in the Bring Back Nike LeBron voting competition from last year. From what I remember, that was a competition where you could vote on different LeBron colorways that you wanted to be brought back, and then they'd bring back the winner of the competition. And I think I was reading on houseofheat.co that the Stewie Griffins didn't even make it past the first round, which is crazy to me because it's such a sick colorway. Also, if you haven't already guessed, this shoe is based on the iconic Family Guy character Stewie Griffin. And it's crazy how much they made the Nike LeBron 6 look like Stewie Griffin, even though there wasn't a face on it. But the good news is, even though we're not getting a Nike LeBron 6 Stewie Griffin, we are getting a Nike LeBron 18 Low Stewie Griffin, which looks very, very similar. This new Nike LeBron 18 Low still features the iconic Stewie Griffin look, but on a completely different silhouette. And I never thought I'd be saying this about a pair of Nike LeBron 18 Lows, but I think I might have to grab this shoe. I mean, shoot, that shoe looks like Stewie Griffin, and of course, like the LeBron 6s, but more like Stewie Griffin. Personally, my favorite part about this sneaker are the cartoon highlights on the toes and on other parts of the sneaker. I think it really gives the shoe this crazy 3D on top of 3D look. Like, it looks like the buttons on the shoe are real buttons, but it's still a cartoon. It's crazy. I love it. As of right now, there is no official release date for the Nike LeBron 18 Low Stewie Griffins, but because we are getting official images of this shoe directly from Nike, I would expect them to drop in the very near future. And as far as retail price goes, it looks like these shoes will be priced at $130, which is not bad. Next up, we've got a first look at Pata's brand new Nike collaboration, the Pata Nike Air Max 1s. These shoes are apparently named the Pata Nike Air Max 1 Monarchs and come in a white and dark orange colorway. And as you can see, Pata did their thing on this sneaker. Not only did they add ballistic mesh in place of the standard mesh that's on a pair of Air Max 1s, they also changed up the overlay and gave it this really cool wavy look. Now personally, I still prefer and love my Nike Air Max 1 collab design that I did a couple years back. I'll put that up on the screen. It's kind of like a reverse Air Max 1 with the see-through toe. I think it's a cool look, but hey, you know what? Pata's a real brand and I'm just Seth. So I'll probably never get a Nike Air Max collaboration, but I was pretty happy with the way my design came out. But enough talking about me because I do that all the time. This Pata Nike Air Max 1 looks very, very clean and of course features the collaboration bright white Nike swoosh on the toe. But enough talking about me because I do that all the time. This Pata Nike Air Max 1 looks very, very clean and I love the changes that they made to the silhouette. And of course, it's got a mini Nike swoosh on the toe, which seems to be the staple of collaboration Nike Air Max 1s, and in my opinion, always makes the shoe just that much more extra and just makes the shoe always look better no matter what sneaker you put it on. Kinda wish they'd put mini Nike swooshes on Pumas. I think they'd look really good on like the RSXs. Obviously they won't, but kind of nice look. Now, I've always been an Air Max 1 fan, but because they release so many different Air Max 1s throughout the year, I don't usually pick that many up. But this is one of those shoes that if I see it in store, or maybe I win a raffle for them, I'm gonna rock the crap out of them. Now, as you probably could have guessed, there is no official release date for the Pata Nike Air Max 1s just yet, but expect them to drop sometime this fall for a retail price of $160. After that, we've got some new information about an upcoming sneaker, which of course I'm extremely excited about, from one of my favorite brands and one of my favorite collaborators with that brand. And that shoe is the ALD New Balance 650. So this shoe is another shoe that Teddy Santis, the founder of ALD, took out of New Balance's vault and is re-releasing as an ALD collaboration. And this is far from the first time Teddy's done this. He did this with the ALD New Balance 827s, brought them back out of the vault, and he did this with the 550s last year, which are one of my favorite sneakers so far this year. And now in 2022, he's doing it once again with the New Balance 650s with the ALD New Balance 650 collaboration. Now, I know you might think that I'm blinded by my love for New Balance, but I do see that this shoe looks very similar to the 550s. I get that, I understand that, but regardless, it's still a fire sneaker. In fact, in some ways, I think the shoe might even be better than the 550s because for me, as I'm sure you guys already know, as a lover of 80s and 90s leather basketball sneakers, this high top version It's pretty sick and reminds me a lot of the Air Jordan 1, my favorite sneaker of all time. This is in the same family, in the same vein, in the same style. Everything about this sneaker I am about. And it looks like this shoe is releasing in 3 different colorways, a white and green, a white and blue, and a white and gray. And for me, there's just something about green and white New Balances. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I like green so much on New Balances, but that's the one that I'd be going for when they finally release, most likely next year. And the things that I would do with the New Balance collaboration. New Balance, if you guys would ever be interested in collaborating with me, please let me know. I have a million different emails. You can reach me any way you want. I would love to collaborate with you guys, but man, that would be a dream come true. And let me tell you, I am so jealous of everyone else who's got these amazing New Balance collaborations. The thing with New Balance collaborations, and I know I'm going on a little bit of a rant, but New Balance is one of those brands that you could put pretty much any color on almost any one of their shoes, and it would look incredible. Like, you really can't miss with the New Balance collaboration. Okay, but getting back on track, these shoes will definitely be a pretty limited collaboration, as most ALD New Balances are, and as of right now, according to Teddy's Instagram account, it looks like these shoes will be dropping in spring of 2022. Next up, we've got one of the most polarizing Nike Dunks that I've seen in a very long time, and that's the Social Status Nike Dunk Mid. So this collaboration is officially called the Social Status Nike Dunk Mid Free Lunch, and let me preface this by saying, I love both of these colorways. I would be happy with either one, and I will be going for both. But for some reason, everything that I've seen online about these sneakers, other than like the flame rating on Sneaker News, is kind of negative about these shoes, and I don't get it. The colorways in this collaboration are inspired by milk cartons, specifically a strawberry carton and a chocolate carton, and of course those are the 2 different colorways that are releasing, and I've gotta say, I think the inspiration is dope and nostalgic as hell. I'm not even like a big Dunk fan and I want these shoes. These are fire, and I love the fact that they're a mid-top because we never see Nike Dunk mids. This is awesome. Huge kudos to Social Status. There was one in Philly a little while ago. I don't know if it's still there, but it was a store that I never really went into, but if one pops up in Philly again, I will be going in on a regular basis because if this is the design team that they have, good job. Both of these colorways come in premium leathers and suedes, and I've got to say I would be happy with either colorway, the strawberries or the chocolates. I think I lean more towards the chocolates because I like the browner tones with blue, but that pink shoe also looks sick. Actually, I don't know. You know, if I could have a pair with one of each, that's what I would do. Also, the Nike swoosh comes in this crazy like 3D bubble looking thing, which looks a lot like a milk carton, so it's very well thought out. Not only that, it also features a mini Nike swoosh on the toe, which I just finished saying I love. The whole thing is perfect. Good job, Social Status. I will be buying both of these if I can. Now, unfortunately, both of these colorways do not have a release date yet, but they are slated to drop sometime in 2021, hopefully, if they don't get pushed back. But as we know, Nike's been pushing things back recently. In fact, we just heard news that like Vietnam is closing down 2 of their plants, so we might even get less Nike sneakers, so it's gonna be a bumpy road, but hopefully we get these shoes before the end of the year. I can't get over that strawberry and chocolate colorway. They both look so good, and you know what would look good with those sneakers? The brand new Apothecary drop. So this Apothecary drop comes in some of the coolest colors that we've ever dropped, namely browns and tans. A lot of you guys have been requesting these colors, we just haven't dropped them yet. And not only that, the design of these socks is actually done by a designer you guys might have heard of on this channel, Jason Negrito Diaz. That's right, we're getting everybody involved, and this is probably one of my favorite collections that we've dropped all year. So this collection comes in 4 different colorways. You've got black, you've got white, you've got brown, and you've got gray. And personally, I think the brown colorway is my favorite because up until this point, I don't think we've really done any like true chocolate brown socks, and they look sick. So if you guys want to grab any or all of this collection, it's actually available today at 11 a.m. Eastern time on apothecary.com, which of course I've left a link to in the description below. And I'm not just saying this because this is my brand, but if you guys want any of these socks from this collection, definitely make sure to be on apothecary.com as close to 11 a.m. as you can because the socks sell out very, very quickly. And hey, if you don't like the Social Status Nike Dunk Mid collection, maybe you can rock these socks with the upcoming Drake Air Force Ones. Apparently, Drake is releasing an all-white Air Force One to coincide with the release of his new album, Love You Forever. And although this shoe looks very similar to a standard pair of AF1 lows, it technically isn't. So the first thing that you'll notice about this shoe is that the white leather on the upper of the sneaker comes in this really nice tumbled texture. I would assume that it's a nicer leather than what they use on their standard AF1 lows because it's a collaboration, but I don't know for sure. But the biggest difference on this shoe from a standard pair of AF1 lows is the fact that the Air text on the midsole has been changed from just your standard Nike Air text to Love You Forever written out in cursive. I've got to be honest, it's actually a pretty nice look, albeit very, very subtle. Oh, and speaking of subtle changes, it looks like the stars on the outsole of the sneaker have been replaced with hearts, which I'm not gonna lie is actually kind of cool. I don't think it's gonna be worth whatever the resale price of this sneaker is gonna be, but I've gotta say, That's a pretty nice touch. Other than that though, that seems like the only real changes on this sneaker from a standard pair of AF1 lows. And of course, as of right now, we don't know exactly when this sneaker is gonna release, how much it's gonna sell for, and definitely not how much it's gonna resell for. But because it's a Drake collaboration, I would assume this shoe is gonna resell for a lot. Next up, we finally got the official date for Yeezy Day 2021, and that date is August 2nd. So if you don't know what Yeezy Day is, essentially it's just this big day of restocks on YeezySupply.com. Now to be fair, no one really knows the actual quantity of sneakers restocking. It could be a couple thousand pairs or it could be a couple hundred pairs. We have no idea. Based on what I've heard from the grapevine, it seems like the pairs that are restocking are pairs that were kind of held back or that didn't sell from previous Yeezy releases. But it looks like for this Yeezy Day, we are getting a pretty nice selection of sneakers, and I've got to be honest, I'm very excited about some of these restocks. So the shoes that are apparently restocking on Yeezy Day are the Yeezy 700 V1 Wave Runners, which I'm really excited about. I'm not sure if this is a pair that they started a whole new production run of or they just had extra pairs laying around. I would assume that it's the latter. The second pair restocking are the Yeezy 700 V2 Zebras, which have restocked like 8 different times at this point. I don't understand it, but they're everywhere. After that, we've got the Yeezy 350 V2 Black Reflective, which I'm super excited about because I don't have any black 350s at the moment. In fact, I really only have one pair of 350s. It's the Statics, the non-reflectives. But yeah, this would be a sick pair to have. After that, you've got the Cloud Reflectives and the Synth Reflectives. It kind of seems like there's a lot of reflective pairs dropping more than standard pairs. In addition to that, you've also got the Yeezy 350 V2 Tail Light, which is a gray 350 V2 with an orange accent on the heel, which makes it look like a tail light. I think it was like maybe a European only exclusive or like an Asia only exclusive, but now through Yeezy Supply, it's releasing in the US. And then the last 2 pairs apparently releasing are the Yeezy 700 MNVNs in both orange and in black. Now, like I was saying, the only pairs that I really want out of this restock are the Wave Runners because my current pair is a little worn at this point, and also the Black Reflectives because I've always wanted that pair. Everything else though, I don't really feel like I need. I wouldn't mind grabbing any of these pairs in my size, I guess, but most likely all of these pairs will be very difficult to get. I do have to say though, of the pairs that are restocking, they do seem to be dropping a lot of fan favorites, which hasn't always been the case for Yeezy Day, so I am kind of stoked for this Yeezy Day versus previous ones. But I would actually love to know your thoughts on this Yeezy Day and which shoes you guys are going for, so make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Next up, we've got a first look at the upcoming Christmas Air Jordan 11 release, the Cool Grays. Now, we've known for a while that the Cool Gray 11s were going to be the 11s that were going to re-release this holiday. However, we didn't ever see any pictures of the shoes, so we don't know exactly how they're going to look. I mean, yeah, they're going to look gray, but I'm not talking about the gray. I'm talking about like the cut of the patent leather and the overall shape of the silhouette. But now, finally, we have some actual pictures, or what we would assume to be actual pictures of the Cool Gray 11 2021s, and I've got to say, they look sick. Based on these pictures, it seems like the shoes are going with that sort of higher patent leather look, which is truer to the original sneakers and also something that Jordan Brand's been doing since like 2016. And I just think that patent leather cut just looks better. It makes the shoe feel more full and more beefy, and I really like it. Now, color-wise, the shoe looks just like every other pair of Cool Gray 11s. It's got an icy blue outsole, a white midsole, and of course, a tonal gray upper, but man, this is a shoe that I'm really looking forward to. The Bred 11s are my favorite 11s of all time, but in a very close second, we've got the Cool Gray 11s, and I cannot wait for this release. And if you're trying to grab a pair of these Cool Gray 11s, apparently they're supposed to be dropping on December 11th of this year. And if you're trying to grab a pair of the upcoming Air Jordan 11 Cool Gray Retros, they should be dropping on December 11th. And then finally, rounding off today's weekly heat with another Air Jordan 11 story, it looks like the original Air Jordan 11s from the Space Jam movie are actually going up for auction. Well, to be fair, by the time this video goes live, they'll have been up for a couple days, but it's still pretty crazy. So these Air Jordan 11s come in that original Space Jam colorway with that black upper, the white midsole, and what used to be an icy blue outsole. But what makes this pair in particular special though is that this pair was made specifically for Michael Jordan for the Space Jam movie. And of course, it's also signed by Michael Jordan, which of course is rare for anything to be signed by Michael Jordan, so that's pretty crazy in and of itself. But the final thing that I think is really cool about this particular sneaker package is that it comes in this custom-made wooden box with this like purple velvet lining, which looks amazing. Now, these shoes are currently available for auction on Sotheby's website, and they're expected to reach a price of between $150,000 and $200,000, which is nuts for a pair of sneakers. No matter whose sneakers they are, that's nuts. Hopefully, it's more than even Sotheby's expected and they set like a crazy new record, but we'll just have to wait and see. And if you're watching this after they sell, leave a comment in the comment section down below letting us know what they sold for. That'd be kind of cool, just so you don't have to search it up. You can just look in the comment section. section. But with that, we pretty much wrap up Weekly Heat for this week. Now, I would love to know your thoughts on all of the stories that we talked about in today's video, so make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.